The movie begins with a couple, Matt and Kate, moving into an old large house in the countryside. The house is isolated and in need of repairs, but they are excited about starting a new chapter in their lives. They begin repairing the house after unpacking, as it's quite old and in bad shape. Matt works as a painter, and while Kate is tidying up the kitchen, she stumbles upon a dead bird on the floor. She heads outside to bury the bird, but a loud crash interrupts her as Matt throws furniture from the second floor. When she turns back to finish burying the bird, it has mysteriously disappeared. As Matt clears out broken furniture, he comes across an old, intriguing key. They continue their cleaning efforts, with Kate organizing books on the shelves. Suddenly, Matt finds something unusual behind some torn wallpaper. An old metal door with a large keyhole. He tries to peek inside but can't see anything. Remembering the key he found, he retrieves it and unlocks the door, calling Kate to join him. As Kate approaches the room, the house lights start flickering. Matt then decides to call an electrician to investigate. Later that evening, Kate and Matt sit by the fireplace, enjoying a bottle of wine to celebrate their move. As they chat, they hear a noise from within the house. The next day, Kate encourages Matt to start on his painting while she takes a call for her translation services. Matt decides to investigate the mysterious room again, causing the lights to flicker once more. He is startled when Kate appears, informing him that the electrician has arrived. Together, Matt and the electrician examine the old and complex wiring in the basement, which might explain the flickering lights. Before leaving, the electrician mentions his surprise that anyone would buy the house after what happened. Curious, Matt asks what incident he's referring to and learns that the previous owners were murdered there. Intrigued, Matt searches online for information about the crime. He finds an old newspaper article referring to the property as the House of Blood, detailing the grisly murder of the Schaffer couple. The perpetrator, only known as John Doe, was caught and sentenced, but his true identity remained unknown. Later, Matt sketches John Doe and, in a drunken state, ventures into the mysterious room. The lights go out, and as he finishes his bottle, he mutters about needing another. When the lights return, he is shocked to find a full bottle of alcohol on the floor. Kate wakes up the next morning, puzzled by the flickering lights. She searches for Matt and finds him in the mysterious room, which is now filled with expensive famous paintings. Concerned, she touches his cheek and asks if he's alright. When she asks where the paintings came from, Matt enigmatically tells her to wish for something she desires. Playfully, Kate asks for $1,000. Matt rummages through the room and hands her the money. Suspicious, Kate thinks it's a trick, so Matt challenges her to wish for $1 million, which instantly appears before them. Frightened, Kate is reassured by Matt, who insists they enjoy the room's gifts. Soon, they start wishing for luxuries: expensive alcohol, designer clothes, caviar, diamonds, and more money. The room grants their every wish and they begin living in opulence. One day, while lying together, Kate wonders how the room works. Matt, however, advises her to stop questioning and just enjoy their good fortune. They fall into a cycle of constant partying and drinking. A few days later, Kate sits alone in the kitchen, staring at the mess from their wild parties. She looks bored and jaded when Matt joins her outside on the swing. He asks about a necklace she wished for, but she dismisses it, knowing she can always wish for another. Later, Matt surprises Kate by showing her a nursery room, suggesting they try for a baby again. Kate is hesitant, recalling the pain of her 2 miscarriages. She breaks down, and Matt tries to comfort her, saying it's common, but Kate leaves the room in tears. Matt finds her smoking outside and decides to go for a drive to clear his mind. While he's gone, Kate returns to the nursery and then to the mysterious room. When Matt comes back, he finds Kate with a baby boy who appeared out of nowhere. Furious, he demands to know why she would wish for a baby. Kate admits she didn't believe they could have a child naturally and took a shortcut. Matt thinks she's lost her mind and insists they return the baby to the room and wish him away. They go back to the room, but as the baby cries, Matt can't bring himself to go through with it and gives the baby back to Kate. That night, the baby cries from hunger, so Matt wishes for a bottle of milk. When he returns, he's stunned to see Kate breastfeeding the baby. After a few days, Matt recalls the murder case and finds a quote from John Doe, claiming that the room made him commit the crime. Determined to learn more, Matt decides to visit John Doe in the mental hospital where he has been confined. Pretending to be a reporter, Matt manages to get a meeting with John, despite the nurse's surprise at his request. Inside, an elderly John immediately recognizes that Matt isn't a reporter and invites him to sit. Matt introduces himself as the new owner of the house and asks why John murdered the previous owners. John cryptically replies that it was the only way, urging Matt to forget about the room and leave the house before it's too late. On his way home, Matt stops at a gas station. When he tries to pay with money taken from the room, it disintegrates into ashes. Disturbed, he rushes back home, grabs a wad of cash from the room, and throws it outside. The money instantly turns to dust. To test his theory further, he takes a Van Gogh painting, places only half of it outside the house. The exposed half rapidly ages and disintegrates, confirming that anything wished for within the room cannot exist outside without decaying into dust. Later, while Kate is singing to the baby, she hears loud noises coming from the mysterious room. She finds Matt frantically hacking away at the walls, desperate to understand how the room works. Despite Kate's protest that the noise will scare the baby, Matt ignores her. As he tears down the drywall and flooring, he uncovers vine-like structures surrounding the room. Continuing his search, he discovers more vines and strange markings behind the wallpaper. Meanwhile, Kate decides to take the baby outside for some fresh air. Matt, alarmed, tries to stop her, warning that it's dangerous, but Kate dismisses his concerns. As soon as they step outside, the baby starts aging rapidly. Kate screams in horror, and Matt rushes them back inside, where they see that the baby has transformed into a young boy. After bathing the boy, Kate confronts Matt about what's happening. He explains that anything created by the room will age and disintegrate if taken outside, including their child. Despite this, Kate is determined to care for the boy as her own. She names him Shane and begins teaching him to read, insisting he stay indoors because he is sick. Frustrated and eager to go outside, Shane becomes angry, throwing his pencils and slamming the door on Kate. The next morning, while they are having breakfast, the doorbell rings with a package delivery. Kate signs for it and hands it to Matt. It turns out Matt has bought a gun for safety. He tests it out in the nearby woods. Meanwhile, Shane grows increasingly curious about the outside world. Despite Kate's efforts to keep him entertained indoors, Shane constantly gazes out the windows. One day, while Kate isn't watching, Shane begins to put his hand outside, but Kate stops him just in time. In a panic, she starts locking all the doors and boarding up the windows. This leads to a heated argument with Matt, both of them exchanging angry words. In the middle of the night, Shane goes to his parents' room and asks Kate if she loves him. She reassures him and embraces him, comforting him as best she can. The next day, while Matt is out practicing his shooting, Shane accidentally breaks a glass but hides, knowing he did something wrong. Bored and curious, Shane wanders through the house at night and discovers the strange power source in the mysterious room. The next morning, Kate and Matt find that Shane has wished for the room to look like the outdoors so he can play. Kate joins Shane in a snowball fight, delighted by the illusion. However, Matt angrily drags Shane back inside, warning him never to enter the room again. Matt locks the door and puts the key in a drawer. Kate argues that the room isn't harmful, but Matt fears that Shane could wish for something dangerous, like a dragon, and insists they must be cautious. While the couple is arguing, Shane answers the phone. It's a call from John, who tells Matt that there's a way for Shane to go outside without turning to dust. He must kill the person who wished for him. John explains that he too was wished for and only discovered he could live freely outside after killing the one who wished for him. John's wife killed her husband and forced John to kill her so he could live outside. Overhearing this, Kate is horrified. She drives away from the house, contemplating taking her own life so Shane can be free, but she ultimately cannot bring herself to do it. While waiting for Kate to return, Matt tears down the wallpaper and curtains in frustration. During dinner, Shane asks about his real father. In a fit of anger, Matt tells Shane the harsh truth, that he's not a real person, but a wish. He asks Shane if he has any memories from 3 months ago, and when Shane admits he doesn't, Matt explains that it's because he was never real, only an idea brought to life by the room. However, Matt soon apologizes to Shane for his harsh words, offering to read to him. Kate returns home later to find Matt and Shane asleep together. When Matt wakes up, he asks where she went and she says she just needs to get out. He comforts her by kissing her. One morning, they wake to find the front door open and discover that Shane has grown into a teenager. Holding Matt's gun, Shane threatens them, but Kate manages to calm him down. Seizing the moment, Matt tries to disarm Shane but accidentally hits Kate, knocking her unconscious. When Kate wakes up, Matt tells her that Shane was killed when the gun went off and that he buried him outside. Heartbroken, Matt carries her back into the house. In reality, the real Matt has been knocked unconscious, and as he wakes, he frantically searches for Kate. He discovers that Shane has her, and they are locked inside the room. Shane, impersonating Matt, is having breakfast with Kate in the room, which now looks like their home. The real Matt begins to break down walls in a desperate attempt to reach them. Kate starts to suspect something is off when Matt chews on ice the way Shane used to. Feeling uncomfortable, she pushes him away. When she tries to escape, Shane stops her and attacks her, knocking her unconscious. When Kate regains consciousness, she finds herself confronted by two identical Matts and cannot discern which one is real. One reaches for her, but she recognizes the real Matt and shoves the imposter down the stairs. As they try to escape, they realize they are trapped in a maze created by Shane within the house. Shane finds them and stabs Matt in the stomach. As Matt falls, Shane attempts to embrace Kate, but he is distracted when he sees the real Matt and Kate running outside. They sprint through the fake forest and out of the room. Just as they are about to leave the house, Shane, charging at them with a knife, confronts them. Matt manages to open the door and push Shane outside. As Shane tries to run back in, he begins to age rapidly and turns to dust before he can re-enter. Kate locks the door and watches as Shane disintegrates, finally freeing them from the nightmare. 1 month later, Kate and Matt are staying in a motel. Matt comes and knocks on the door, asking Kate to let him in. Kate sits silently on the bed, staring at a positive pregnancy test. The fear and uncertainty overwhelm her as she wonders whether the baby is Matt's or Shane's. With that, the movie ends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.